Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades in the weekly recap. Before I get started with the recap, I just want to say if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I did finish the week with 26 wins and 4 losses for a win rate of 86.67% for the week. Pretty good. Can't complain. I made it over the 85% threshold, which is my weekly goal every week for a minimum. So I did get over that. I just made a couple mistakes this week, but overall it was a good week. Kind of trappy though. The market's been very trappy lately, so with that said, we'll just get into it. Obviously I sound a little bit better, but still stuffy from my cold last week, but yeah. Tuesday, Monday, Trade Ideas channel, SPY calls over 368. Help if I pull my Twitter up so I can see the timestamps. I didn't even do that yet. Kind of like behind the ball today. Let's see. Monday was what, the 26th? Okay. 26 was right here. I said what, calls was 368. 368 is right here. You can see pre-market high right here. Well, we could count this, but at 3:30 in the morning. But I use this area because it's a nice round number, and waited for the first 10-minute candle to form. That's what I usually been doing. I don't like taking the level right away because the first 10-minute candle is always so trappy and misdirection and stuff like that. But certain tickers I will take the chance. I used to do Tesla and Baba, but lately even they've been tricking and trapping and stuff like that. So I've been kind of like holding out on just about everything. But anyways, I took 368 calls at $2.30 at 9:41. As soon as this formed, I took the high right here, and those calls went from 230 to 259. Didn't really pop much to pull back a little bit. Didn't actually end up taking off right here at I didn't catch this but the next set of calls I had was at 10. No, I had SPX this time because the first one I had SPY. I had SPX at 1046, which is right here off from right at VWAP. I took SPX 3720 calls at 920. I added at 1107. So I added at 1046. So I added right here. Then I added more at 1107, which is what? Down here for, oh yeah, I can't remember this. I don't know why. I think I ended up selling a lot of that. Let me see. Nope, I gotta look at I'm looking at the wrong channel. The 29th. I think I sold some of that. No, I didn't. Don't know why, but maybe I didn't quite get it right. Maybe I got it up here a little more. I don't know, but I mean, I should have taken it right in there. I mean, I definitely would have gotten the 50 cents to $1, no problem on that. But for some reason I didn't. I averaged down at near low a day, thinking we were gonna get a double bottom bounce. I averaged down too early, 1107. So I averaged down right in here somewhere. I don't know why. I should average down here more, but this ended up being lost, so I ended up stopping out at like 720 because I averaged down. I bought at 920, added more at 620, made my new average 740, and I stopped out at 320. I don't know why. I could have definitely played that different and better, but yeah, it is what it is. So the first loss of the week was right there. Then I took puts at 1144, which was right here, this candle. Yep. Drop, green candle, and right when it broke below this area of 360, we'll say 366, that's where I ended up grabbing the 3660 puts at $10.70. and they went from what 1070 to 1270, so they dropped $2 right there. Then I grabbed calls at 1158, which is right here in this candle. So you can see you get the green candle right here, and you get this candle right here, the doji, which we end up taking the puts on right here. But when it came back up and got over this area of the 366.50, I jumped to calls thinking we were going to bounce. It did bounce a tiny bit, but again, I took another loss because I had the 3,700 calls at $8. I took it small. I remember taking it small because just not starting out that good. Started to bounce, then it just dumped. And this was what SPY's been doing all week long, is that it looks like it's going to have a nice little bounce, and then it ends up just staying within its range and going lower. I did that on Friday too, and definitely traded it wrong on Friday. But yeah, I tried to get the bounce right here. Did I sell any of that? Let's see. Yes, I did. I remember I got it at 8. I sold some at 8.90, and then I ended up selling, holding on to the rest, which wasn't that many. I think I only had like a few left. So it is what it is. Then the next play I had was let's see, calls at 247, which is probably right. I don't know why I didn't take it right there. 247 right here. No, right here. Okay, right there. I see why I took it. I could have taken it right here, but I mean, after what it did here, I mean, I could see why I ignored that. I could see why I ignored that. But when it had this little drop and came back up to the 20 EMA and dropped more, but stayed above lower day and came back up, that was when I ended up grabbing the 3670 calls at $6.80 right here. And right when I broke out over this 365.20 area is where I ended up grabbing the calls and went from 680 to 1230 in that pop right there. Then I took calls at 346, which is right here. It dropped down and came back up right when it got over through VWAP. I remember playing this. I said that I was going to take it through VWAP over 366. Took the 3670 calls at $6.50, and they went from $6.50 to $14. I had a huge pop, and it got slammed right away. You had to be quick to get in and out. If you're going to play these end of the day plays, they are definitely the most risky because of the smallest chop, the theater will destroy it, or if you get it wrong, they will lose 50%, 70% of its values in seconds. So if you're not kosher with that kind of risk reward, don't play it. That's why you have to make your own decisions. Don't blindly follow me. I'm not afraid of risk. And so you definitely had to get in and out of this one quickly because it did pop up nice and it just got slammed right away. And so yeah, that day, 4 wins, 2 losses, not a great day as far as that. Didn't start out the week the way I wanted to. Then let's see, Tuesday, pre-market, SPY calls over 370, Microsoft calls over 241. Put the call ratio was very, very high. 370, which is right here. Waited for the first 10-minute candle to form. Once it formed, I took the 369 calls at 374, right above the higher day of this 10-minute candle, and they went from 374 to 402. So got a little bit of a nice play, getting it in and out. The market just not taking any prisoners and just slammed. Then I switched to puts at 1022, which is, no, not right there. Why didn't I take puts right there? I took puts right here, though. Looks like I took it right off the 20 EMA rejection, which is that light blue line. I took the SPX 3670 puts at 890, and they went from 890 to 13. Then I took puts again at 1034. Which is right here, and it popped up. I took the 3670 puts this time again at $9, and they went from 9 to 10 right there. And I remember there was something happening this day. I think that Powell was talking. Yeah, I think. I'm not quite sure, but there was something happening. Power news or something like that. I don't remember. But anyways, I reloaded when we got this little drop. It popped back up. I reloaded and caught this little drop right here. You can see the wick. Then I took puts again. No, I took calls at 11:29. 11:29. Right here. I see why I took it here, because you get the pivot from the day before, resistance, support, support. So when it hit the 365 level, I grabbed the, plus you can look at these huge long red candles. Anytime you get these long red candles, you get these like 50% tracements usually I should say, quote, usually. We got it here, and we got the this nasty red candle right here. We get a little bit of a bounce, but when it's hit the 365 area, that's where I grabbed the 3690 calls at 680. And they went from 680 to 880 right off this 365 level. I thought for sure we were going to bounce, and we just knifed more. Then I pretty much ended up playing the channel right down here. I grabbed the next one at what, 1206, which is right down here, the 361 level. Let's see, I gotta switch the hourly on this one. 361. I think there was a moving average on the daily. I think the 200 EMA or something. Let's look at maybe it was the weekly. Yeah, it was the weekly. No, it wasn't the weekly. It could have dropped more after. Oh yeah, I was going off this low right here from the June. This is June, yeah, June 13th, yeah. It's going off that low. That's why I was doing that. So yeah, I grabbed the calls right here at the 361 area. I grabbed what, 3670 calls at $8, and they went from $8 to $8.70. And remember, they weren't really moving much. Premium wasn't really moving much based on the way it was going. And plus, I think that the premium was so high. IV was so high this week because of the range we've been getting in the gap ups and gap downs. So definitely doesn't help when you have a huge gap up or a gap down. The IV usually increases a lot. So yeah, they went from 8 to 870. Then I grabbed calls again at 1223, which is right on this pullback. 1223. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to probably drop down to a smaller time frame. Go back 4 days because it's Tuesday, and we can see the time. Okay, it's down in here. So first one was 1206, which is right here. Okay, I got it right here. And the next one was what? 1223, which was down here. 1206. Yeah, I ended up getting out in here somewhere. Let's see, 1223. Right in here is where I got in. And you get that little bit of a bounce. So yeah, I got the 3650 calls at 850, and they went from 850 to 1160. So yeah, I bought the other ones right in here somewhere, and I got this tiny little bounce. Tiny. Bring it down to the 10-minute again so I can see. So yeah, ended up playing this move twice. The last one I took was I mean, I could have played it more right here too, but I just didn't. I mean, 370 to 361, that's almost a $10 drop, $9 to $10 drop. So I mean, I definitely could have played that 361 level more. I could have bought just about every dip on this and made out with it. So, but the last play I had was a 316. I don't know why I didn't grab this here. I remember watching it, but no, I waited to 316, which is right, I think right here. 316. And weighted down here more. I don't really remember. Probably have to go down into the 1 minute time frame again to see. Sometimes having these 10-minute candles, you can't really see the entry, especially if you do a lot of it. Okay, 316, which is right here. Yeah, okay, this is where I got in, right in here. Right 316. I got the 3640 puts at 610, and then went from 610 to 960 on that little pump right there. So pop right there. So did a little better. Can't complain. This is what SPY's been doing all week long. It's just every time you think it's going to have a rally, a V rally, or a nice bounce, it doesn't. It's short-lived and just gets hammered on. I mean, it did pop pretty good here. I just, when it does this little range stuff, you don't know how long it's going to stay in this range before it pops. So yeah, I had to shut my door. My neighbor is so loud all the time. Every time I start recording, he ends up going outside and making a ton of noise. It's kind of irritating. But anyways, yeah, did a little better. And yeah, when you get into these little choppy range days, you don't know when the market's actually going to make its run or not. I mean, you could have bought it here, you could have bought it here. Any of these could have been a breakout. You just don't know. It could have chopped all the way until the end of the day, 3:30, 3:40 or whatever, before it actually made its move. And that's why these things are so hard to time, because they start chopping and you time it wrong. You get in at the wrong area and you just sit in the chop and you're done. Even if it does pop, you may get lucky, but it's just not going to work out. It's just been like that. So now on let's see, Wednesday, traded his room. SPY puts into 363, which is right here, the bottom of this wick. I did get under there for a second. I didn't grab it yet, but once it broke over the high, I grabbed the calls. I grabbed the SPY 364 calls at 255, and then went from 255 to 318 in that pop. Then I grabbed puts at 1009, which is right when it flushed down really quickly right here. I remember this play. Right when it got down here, I grabbed the 363 puts at $1.90, and right when I got in, because it looked like when I failed to break out over pre-market highs and it flushed down really quickly to the 363, I thought for sure it was going to break down, and it didn't. It just reversed. This was really annoying to trade, but I ended up stopping out because I got it at 190 and stopped out at 90. So, and it popped back up. Then I switched to puts again. I took puts again at 1040, which is right here. Got a little bit of a drop. Did I even sell any of that? 1040. Let me see. What time was that? 1040. Okay. On the what? 28th? I'm just looking at the yeah, I sold some at 980. So yeah, I did sell some right in here, but I thought we were going to get a bigger drop, because I was looking at this area of 316, 366.15. If it broke below that area, it was going to end up dumping. So I held a couple thinking we were going to dump, and it didn't. It just popped more. So I ended up holding the last couple I had, and it ended up turning red on the play. Not that much, just very, very small loss on that one. So that's why you always got to reduce your risk when you end up going in the right direction, because anything can happen, and just pop more. So I think I spent most of the day just trying to catch the top, which I probably shouldn't have done. But after the way SPY has been the last couple weeks, there hasn't been no rally whatsoever, and any rally we've had was very short-lived. I mean, didn't last long. They got clobbered, and here was very minimal, and basically every small pop was getting hammered on. Here, small pop got hammered on, small pop hammered on. I mean, literally small pop got hammered on. I mean, It's just on and on. So there's no reason to think that the pops weren't going to get hammered on again. So that's the mentality I had this day. So I kept trying to fish for the top, and just didn't work out nearly as good as I thought it would. But at 11:56, I grabbed puts again, which is right here. I grabbed 36.90 puts at 10.90. I grabbed them. Let's see, what time? 11:56. It was right in here. I grabbed them, and they went from, I got them at 10.90 and they went to 11.60. So that probably was just a little drop right here. And plus, when SPY gives you the 50 cents to $1 lately, just take it. I mean, the market is just not very forgiving at this point. So yeah, got the 70 cents out of it, not much. Then I took puts again at 36.90 puts again. I took them at, actually no, I took them again, yes, at 10.40, which is right here. No, 10.40, right here. Actually, I think I took them down here, thinking that we had this green candle, we had this engulfing bearish candle right here, and it broke below this 368 level, 368.30 level. So I grabbed puts, 36.90 puts at 10.40, and of course it popped. But right up here, when it broke high a day, I did average down. I grabbed more at 6.90, make my average 7.80, and then it went from 7.80 to 9.80. So I was able to get $2 out of that. So definitely helped to do that. And I was just thinking, okay, I went in small just in case, but when it broke high a day, I definitely went in a lot heavier, especially when it rejected, and got the $2 move right here. But of course, right here, look, it popped again. This thing was not expecting this kind of a play, especially after every little pop has been getting hammered on. So the last play of the day was SPX puts at 338, which is 338 right up here, right at the 372 area. I grabbed 37.30 puts at 520, and they went from 520 to 670. Actually, no, I bought it. What time? 338. So I bought it in this candle, this green candle. I wonder why I bought it there. Just go out a little bit. What was I saying there? I'm just looking to see. I don't see anything that was right there. You look on the daily or something. No. Weekly. There was something there. Maybe it was the 50 EMA. Maybe the 50 EMA was. I have to look at stock charts to see that, because I don't put that on my charts. I do look at it on stock charts. Let me just take a quick look on that. Let me see. There's a reason I got it there. No. It must have been the 371 level from back here on the hourly, right in here. This is probably why I took it. I just got it late, I guess. Yeah, I guess, because there was nothing, no EMA on the stock charts that I would have saw. So I must have went off the 370 level, but the 370 level was up here. Why is toss lagging? I probably waited for the last 40 minutes. I mean, yeah, the last 20 minutes, because that's what's been happening with the SPY. It will make a move the last 15 minutes of the day. So I just think that's what I was banking on, was a pullback at the end of the day, especially what's been happening because of the got a little bit of a dump right here. Here we got a last minute dump. We didn't get it here. We got a little bit, but not much. But here, last minute dump. So anytime SPY's been like up going into the end of the day, it's had a last minute dump. Oh, I mean, it dumped hard right here, but that was looks like FOMC. Anyways, let me get back to where I was. Yeah, right here. So that's why I ended up grabbing puts right there, thinking we were going to get a last minute 10-minute dump. And we did. We just, it was literally the last 10 minutes. So I got it just a tad bit early. Now on, let's see, Thursday. Trade ideas room on Thursday. Well, I said, what was it, Thursday, 29th? SPY calls over 368.50 and Tesla puts under 281. I know Tesla ended up going, so I grabbed puts. See, the level I grabbed 363. What? 368.50. Oh, calls over 368.50, which is right here. Gap down. Probably was thinking, you know, we're gonna probably pop. I think put to call ratio was probably fairly high, and that's the weird thing. Every time it was really, really high, SPY never really popped. It was lower here, and it actually popped. Just put to call ratio was not been really kind to us this week. Very misleading, but you gotta use it as a guy. You can't go having 100% of your play on put the call ratio, because you just don't know. They could just be very misleading and just go by the chart. And if the put to call ratio is there and it breaks over a certain level, then I'd worry about. Then I would take that, but I wouldn't just go on call just because put to call ratio is high, because anything can happen. It can go higher. And as you can see from the COVID crash, they went definitely a lot higher than they normally do. So. But it didn't. First 10-minute candle was a red candle, so I looked for puts at the lower day. So I grabbed 365 puts at 379, and they went from 379 to 570. They held all the way through. Then I looked at calls at 10 o'clock, 10:03 to be exact, which is right down here at the RCT trend line. I grabbed the 362 calls at 390, and they went from 390 to 465, and that pop right there. And then I took calls at 10:13, which is right here. Actually, 10:13 is right here. I got it down here. There must have been some wiggle room right in there, but yeah, I grabbed it twice right in here. First time was right in this candle. Must have caught it close to the lower of the day and got that little bit of a bounce. Then when it came back down, that's where I reloaded, but I got SPX calls at 990, and they went from 990 to 1110 right there. I don't know why I didn't reload again right here. I probably shouldn't have. I probably thought it was going to go lower, because, I mean, look at what it's been doing all week long. I mean, you think it's bottomed out and then just goes lower. You just can't really trust the bottom on SPY, especially when it's staying within this little range. I probably should have grabbed it over this the 362 area, but I didn't. So I totally spaced out on that one, but I did grab puts at 1058, which is right here, the 20 EMA rejection. I grabbed the 3620 puts at 820, and they went from 820 to 1050 in that drop right there. Then I grabbed calls at 1146, which is right here. I went to the 20 EMA. We caught this move, the rejection move. Usually, if you get this kind of a space between the price and 20 EMA, the first time it's usually going to reject a good majority of the time. Even if the rejection is slightly small or fairly good, like in this one. But if it quickly goes back up and retests it again quickly, like I did right here, it rejected, came back up and tested, I grabbed calls right here, because usually it will break. So I grabbed the 36.65 calls at $8, and they went from $8 to $11.90 in that push right there. Then I took calls at what? I didn't do anything else the rest of the day. I took calls at 365, 323, which is right here. 323, right here. In this candle somewhere, right in here. I grabbed at 36.35 calls at 590, and it just popped huge right there. Literally within like a couple seconds, 20, 30 seconds after I ended. They went from $5.90 to $13 in minutes. So I went 100% on that play right there. That was a nice little end of the day play on SPX. Then on Friday, trade ideas room. SPY calls over 365. Tesla calls over 269. I think Tesla's the one that took off. I took puts at 944. Let's see, 944. Popped up, rejected VWAP. I think I grabbed it when it was up here. I grabbed a 362 puts at 270, and then went from 270 to 310 in that drop. Then I switched to calls at 1011, which is right here. No, 1011, right here. No, right here. Yeah, we got the drop, came back up, rejected VWAP, grabbed that. I'm not quite sure why I grabbed it right there because that's a pretty strong candle, but obviously you can see it popped up, came back down, then it popped up again. Don't know why I didn't grab calls right here over the PDC. Probably didn't think it was going to hold. I think we had actually bad numbers on Friday. Actually, we had pretty decent numbers. Oh, Chicago PMI. I had puts for. I remember that. I had puts for Chicago PMI. Then we had consumer sentiment. So, yeah, that's why I had puts. Oops, I just closed my window. That's why I had puts at 944 was for the PMI news, and we got a little bit of a drop. I took it. Then we had the 10 o'clock news, which was consumer sentiment. Not much of a reaction. Dropped a little bit. I thought about grabbing puts right here. I didn't, but when it popped back up, got over this 363, I think 40 area. This is where I grabbed the 36.75 calls at 940, and then went from 940 to $11. Then I grabbed puts at 1116, which is right up here. I was thinking we were going to reject the 366 level from pre-market because you can see right here is rejecting this area. So it didn't quite get there. It gets a little early, but they went from what? Got the puts at 850, and they went from 850 to 980. But if he held, I think they went like up to, I don't know, $30 or $40 or something like that if he held all the way through. But I took calls at 1235, which was right down in here, right through PDC. I remember this. Took the 3660 calls at $7 right through PDC, which is the previous day's close, this white line. Went right through there. It was a nice little pop. Went from $7 to $8.50. Took it. Gotta take it because look, I did the same thing. I just dropped. I mean, I should have played this better. Friday, definitely was a day I should have played better. I don't know why. I just kept thinking that it wasn't going to drop more, that we were going to start rallying. I think that put to call ratio was still kind of fairly high, but SPY is definitely due for a rally, but I should have held the puts right there. I had the thesis completely dead on, and it just had this massive dump. I got why I grabbed it here because of this area of the 362 area. It did bounce, especially through a PDC, but I should have played puts right here, right when I broke the 362, and I didn't. I played calls at what, 1235. Oh, that's this area. I already went through that one. The next one's 318. Which was right here, right when it popped right up here. So yeah, I played the 3615 calls at this 360 level. Well, below 316 because I kind of had a feeling it was gonna. RCT trendline was also up higher too. No, actually no, it was down at 357. I remember saying something in the room. But yeah, I grabbed the 359, the 360 level. When it broke below the 360 level is when I ended up grabbing it. I mean, obviously it dropped here. Pop back up. I didn't grab it, popped back down. And when it got down in here, I did grab it again. Right when it got down to lower day, thinking it was going to hold. We were going to push above 360 because 360 was a pretty big area. So plus, was there something on the weekly at this time? I think there was. No, there wasn't. No, it was just a 360 level number on that. So yeah, but it was holding right here. But when it broke down right in here, I grabbed it, took a chance, grabbed cost, and we're gonna have our end of the day rally. Did get a little bit of a bounce. We got the 36.15 calls at 7.50, and then went from 7.50 to 9.50. Get a 2 minute $2 push on that. But I should have grabbed puts right there. I should have grabbed puts right there, and I should have grabbed puts right there. I mean, but you just don't know. I mean, I could have grabbed puts right here, and it could have been a fake out. I mean, this definitely area could have definitely gone either way. I definitely had the right idea buying it down at the low and grabbing it for the pop. But yeah, it could have definitely done this right over here too. So SPY has been very tricky this past week. Hopefully next week it won't be nearly as tricky, but we'll just take one day at a time. Hopefully we won't have any massive gap ups or gaps downs that do definitely change the play. So that was the recap. I hope this has helped you understand the mindset of what I did and why I did it. Definitely could have traded Friday better, but it is what it is. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Just move on to the next day. And don't look back. Just look forward and just try to be more patient and play better and be a little more open-minded. So that's going to do it for the recap, and thanks for watching.